Hello stock investors, we're having one hell of a great week. Every single stock from yesterday's video closed higher and every stock in today's video closed higher yesterday. And here's the deal, all of these stock updates are on plays we're already in. If you want hype and drama, check out another channel. But if you want a logical data-driven approach to stock investing with reasons why I'm buying and selling stocks, then click the like, subscribe, and notification bell and I'll keep the videos coming. And if you want to receive my live trade alerts, follow my portfolios, and get our daily hot stock list, then check out my Patreon because that's where the real-time stock trades are happening. Let's kick things off with a success story from Lynn Williams. Great info, jumped in on HRI, up 4.47 in one day. HRI is Herc Holdings, and this was one of our Hot Stocks Wednesday with a JR4 buy signal, and HRI was featured in Wednesday's video as a stock to buy that will benefit from the $1 trillion infrastructure bill that passed the Senate this week. This stock is on fire and up 82% in the last 6 months, and one you should definitely check out, and it's also one I bought this week as well. If you look at the chart, notice my TOS indicator at the top is lit up with bright green. Whenever you see this, pay attention to the stock because that means it is on fire. Now, look at the train tracks formed between the blue 20-day EMA and the red 50-day EMA. That shows this is a train that we want to ride. Next, check out all of the JR buy signals on HRI. These tell us when we need to consider buying the stock or adding more to our position. And finally, check out my Momentum Dream indicator and you'll see the momentum is up, we're in the green buy zone, and we love to buy when the stock is in a squeeze or when the squeeze fires. These are my personal indicators that I include in Patreon, and I'm so used to them that it's easy for me to forget to point out everything I see in the stock on the charts. But anytime you see bright green on my TOS bar indicator, train tracks, and positive momentum, you should seriously consider looking into that stock or looking for an optimal entry point like the JR signals. All right, now's the time to grab a huge cup of coffee and hang on because this is not your normal stock channel. Our first stock is Palantir Tech, ticker PLTR, and they were up a whopping 11.36% yesterday, and that's because they crushed earnings and their revenue jumped 49% year over year for the second quarter. As a recap, Palantir Technologies builds and deploys software platforms for the intelligence community in the United States to assist in counterterrorism investigations and operations, and these guys, their clients are the who's who of the Fortune 500 companies, and these guys are masters of big data. Now, I'm long on Palantir for the long term. You can see I'm currently down 4.4% overall, and I'm not sweating this at all. I expect this stock to continue going up. They definitely blew out earnings. You can see we picked up a couple of buy signals while it was in a squeeze, and yesterday it just fired out of that squeeze, and it should be off to the races now. And also, if we look down at our MACD indicator, our MACD is positive, and we're in the green bars, so we're right where we want to be. Our second stock is Endava, ticker DAVA, and the first thing I noticed, here's my TOS bar, and at the top you can see everything is bright green. This is our first indication to get excited. So in 1 week, these guys are up 5.2%, and they were actually up 5.29% yesterday. In 1 month, 14.6%, 2 months, 23.3%, 3 months, 46%, 1 year, 166%. Now, if we look at the charts here, these are the train tracks we talked about earlier. This is the 20-day EMA, this is the 50-day EMA, and this is what we're looking for on train tracks. Next up, you can see that we bought the bounce on 727, and that would have been right down here where it came down to that 20-day moving average and bounced back up. And we also just had a buy the bounce indicator. That's this 8, and I use an 8 because it kind of looks like a B, and that's an indication that we had a buy the bounce opportunity right here as well. And look, 1 day later it goes up a little bit, and then yesterday it shoots up again. And this is the buy the bounce indicator that I absolutely love. Next up, we can look at our momentum indicator, and we can see that our momentum is currently up. Stacked means all of our different moving averages are stacked above. I don't show them all, but I love to see that it is stacked positive. That's what we're looking for. And then on our MACD, we just picked up a MACD crossing alert, and that's this little green arrow right here. Whenever that green arrow pops up, that tells us we had a MACD cross alert. That's a bullish sign, and we also know that our MACD is positive because we're above the zero line. So our current profit on this one is 11.2%. Definitely a train that we want to ride, so just hang on. Next up, we have Harvard Bioscience, ticker HBIO, and these guys are a global developer, manufacturer, and marketer of life sciences equipment to support research and drug discovery. This I consider to be a swing trade, and it's got a lower risk to reward. It's also a breakout play right now. All right, for our lower risk to reward, we can look at our trail stop here, and it's recommended at 10%. So that tells me this stock is not very volatile, and 10% is about the top for what I consider to be lower risk trade. Next, let's take a look at their earnings, which they just crushed about a week ago. They were estimated to come in at 3 cents, and they doubled that, coming in at 6 cents. That's really bullish. Now we're looking at a 6-month, one-day chart, so we can see 6 months ago this stock was a penny stock trading at $3.87. It's currently trading at $8.47, so it has been on the move. Looking at our momentum indicator, we've got a squeeze alert going on with 11 dots. So our squeeze alert is anytime we're in these red dots right here, and it's very common for a stock to go sideways on a squeeze alert, and that's the pressure building up. Then once that pressure builds up, it has to release, and it's either going to go up or down, and that's why we look at our momentum. So we want the momentum to be going up. Our momentum is going up. These blue bars are getting bigger, and we just popped a buy zone, which is this green background right here. And you can see we also had several buy signals to get into this stock, and now it is a breakout and off to the races. And I just bought these guys yesterday. It's up 0.1%, which is nothing, but again, this position is just getting started. Looking at our MACD, we can see that we just had a cross 2 days ago, and we're in the bright green above the zero line, which is where we want to be. Our fourth stock today is Nucor, ticker NUE, and I've covered this stock a lot this week, and one of the reasons why is because I did a vertical spread on this, and this is a very high risk play the way I played it, so I recommend this one only for experienced option traders. Now the good news is we are up 12%, and we bought on this crazy day right here while it was already going up, and it's still going. Now one of the concerns we've got right now, we've had a lot of volume on this the last couple of days. It's shot straight up, and now it's coming back down on the volume, so that's a bit of a red flag, and I wouldn't be surprised at all to see this stock hopefully just go sideways for a while. So if you're in this play with me, consider taking your profits now or very soon. Next up on our momentum indicator, we can see everything is looking good. We're in the buy zone. We've had a huge run up of our blue bars, and if we look at our last run up on the blue bars that was similar, we can see that it ran up and then it went sideways, and then it had a little pop, and then it came down. So this is our time to start getting a little concerned, and definitely look at taking our profits on that. Our break even on this spread is 122.18. Again, look at liquidating this in the near future to lock in those profits. Our last stock today is the BlackRock Enhanced Equity Dividend ETF. Its ticker is BDJ, and on this one I own over $100,000 of this stock, so this is one that I watch quite a bit. I'm currently down 0.4%, which is negligible, and I love this stock. You can see how it was trending before, nice, steady, and upward. If you look at the TOS bar, we can see that we had real steady gains, but the last 2 months it's been down just a little bit. Our recommended trail stop is 3%, so this one is not very volatile, and I consider this to be a cash alternative for my money. So this is where I park a fair amount of my cash, and then if I want to buy something or I need it for something else, I will pull it out. Now let's look at a few things on our chart here. We're starting to head up really nicely. It was up just a little bit yesterday, and the last week it's been up nicely. Next, let's take a look at our buy signals. Anytime you see a 0, that's whenever a position is closed out. A 100 is whenever we want to add to the position. So we can see in the last 2.5 weeks, we had a JR3 buy signal fire to tell us to buy. We also had a JR1 fire earlier this week. If we look at our momentum indicator, everything is up. We are stacked, and we are in the buy zone. And now let's take a look at our MACD, and you can see we're below the 0 line and we're coming up. Now let's take a look at the 1-year chart, and I want to show you what happened the last time this stock was below the 0 line on our MACD indicator. So this is where we are right now on our MACD indicator, and you can see we are trending up. And let's go back in time, and here our MACD indicator was right down at the 0, and we went to the red on the underneath it, then we went to the pink, and then we came up, and look at the movement that followed. It was massive, coming from what, about $8.67 all the way up to $10.69. That's a nice run up and gain, and that's what we're hoping is going to happen again. So not only do I love this stock, it's got a low trail stop, it's not volatile, and it pays a dividend yield of 6%. Up next, we've got our question of the day. If I join your Patreon, what exactly do I get? The best thing to do is to check out my short Patreon benefits video, and the link is in the description below, and that will give you a good idea. But in a nutshell, here's what you get. Number 1, you get real-time buy and sell alerts. Number 2, you can see and follow my long-term portfolios. Number 3, you receive the full beast mode spreadsheets, and this is pure gold for finding and seeing fundamentally strong companies. Number 4, you get access to our private Discord, which is a community of active investors, and this is where I hang out and answer questions. And number 5, our daily hot stock list, which is how we find most of our deals. And the favorite part by far is the JR4 buy signals for diamonds. And number 6, you can download my custom indicators for Thinkorswim. And I cannot emphasize how helpful it is to be part of an active trading community where you can learn how to invest, especially when you are new to investing. We work hard to bring everyone up to speed with our tools and processes, and we really have something special. And here's my personal invitation for you to join us. Thanks for watching today, and if you got anything out of my video, smash that like, subscribe, and notification bell to help the YouTube algorithm keep this channel growing. Thanks, and I'll see you on the next video.